Hello, and welcome to episode 129 of Design Curious Podcast. I'm your host and mentor, Rebecca Ward. Today on the podcast, we are talking about luxury design and luxury service. I am well aware that luxury is a term that gets thrown around everywhere and probably overused. Almost every designer would say, yes, I offer a luxury service. I say it as well. And so we're going to talk about what does it actually mean to be a luxury service provider and provide luxury for your clients. What are they looking for? What means luxury? So all of that coming into the episode. Before we get there, I want to remind you I have an online mentorship program called My Design Mentor. If you're looking to get your career started in interior design the right way, you will want to join My Design Mentor. It's a very introductory platform for mentorship, a little bit of coaching, but not too much, and learning, and gets you on your feet for your career. So check that out. I'd love to see you in there. Okay, now let's talk about defining a luxury design. You're now listening to Design Curious, a place where you, creative one, are here to learn about what it really is like to be an interior designer. And I'm your host and mentor, Rebecca Ward. If you're worried about how to succeed in a creative career, if you're ready to learn your next steps to become an interior designer, and if you want the satisfaction of doing something you love every day, you are in the right place. Grab a coffee, a notebook, and let's dig into today's episode. So what does luxury mean in interior design? Most designers, I would say, don't always start out as luxury interior designers. As I've said, luxury is an overused word and it might be thrown around, but there is some definition to it. There is meaning into saying that you offer a luxury service. It's different from general design services. I know when I started out, I was not necessarily offering luxury design service. My experience in large part was from doing model home design. And when you're doing model homes, you're not looking for the best option. You're usually trying to stay within the budget so you can make the most profit on the job. And how can you make something that is inexpensive look better? You're not necessarily looking for the highest quality in anything. The furniture is not meant to really be sat on by anybody. It just needs to look good, right? That was in large part my experience coming into my own business. And so I had a lot of resources buying wholesale and things from the model home industry, which were not luxury brands. Once in a while, we would upgrade a piece just to make sure it looked luxury or luxurious. But the brands that I worked with or that I was familiar with were not luxury brands. So I was starting from a place of not luxury. And so I had to gradually over time go to the markets and go to shows and look in magazines and start to understand what the higher end brands were, why I would want to specify them for my clients. Because if I'm going to specify a luxury item, I need to be able to justify that price tag to the client. Oftentimes, I'll have a client say, why should I spend $12,000 on this sofa? I could go to West Elm and get a $5,000 sofa. So I need to be telling them all the reasons why you should upgrade your upholstery because you want to have the frame that lasts forever. So is it kiln dried? Is it 8-way hand tied so that the springs and coils will last forever, or it can be repaired easily? I've learned over time to always upgrade the fills in the sofa. The standard cushion fills definitely break down quickly. So things like that, I had to very much educate myself. And as I did, my brand elevated and the service that I offered got elevated as well. Why is the client that I'm looking for one seeking out luxury design? Well, often the client that I enjoy working with is in the higher income level. They have worked hard and they deserve to enjoy some luxuries in life. And so one of my taglines is designing everyday luxury. I don't think I would be able to easily design at a level where there is superfluous luxury, where it's just oozing out of every corner, nook and cranny, and gold inlay and onyx-clad walls down a hallway, where it's excessive and doesn't bring joy or beauty or inspiration, is not necessarily needed or warranted, then I don't think I could go into that level of opulence very easily. And that's not typically the client that I service. Most of them like to live comfortably and live well. And they don't necessarily want a lot of loud luxury screaming at them. I was just looking at some wallpaper the other day, and there were some name brand wallpapers that had the brand logo as the wallpaper just all over the place. So it said it was Versace, and stuff. Like, if you really love Versace, you could have it all over your powder room wall and just that logo staring at you everywhere. That's definitely loud luxury. And the type of client that I attract is looking for quiet luxury. They want something that's practical, that their kids and pets can jump all over, but it's going to last a long time. It's an investment of their time and effort. Everyone's time and effort is going into this. It's an investment to redesign and to elevate your home. So we want it to be worthwhile, practical, and to last a long time. And that's how I define luxury for my clients and for my firm. Luxury also comes into play when you're thinking of customizing any item. You can customize the height or depth of your upholstery or your tables or the woods. You can have a custom item made. Sometimes we can't find exactly the thing that we envision, so we'll have an artisan make it for us. That is luxury, to have one-of-a-kind piece. And then also luxury in the type of service that we offer. We offer a high-touch, turnkey service if that's wanted, and we enjoy giving that to our clients, and it gives a lot of satisfaction to us as well. A lot of the best luxury interior designers don't just decorate, but they're curating a lifestyle for their clients. I enjoy having that kind of position for my clients. I want to improve their lives. I want to be able to say that you need this natural light coming in every day in the morning. You need to block the light out at night so you can sleep better. And I love investing into their lives in that way and hoping to make a difference so that they are sleeping better and functioning better in their day-to-day lives. As a service provider, an interior designer provides all kinds of services. What clients are investing in is your expertise, your access to product or invention. As I say, it can custom make anything. And also they're asking for a stress-free execution of the project. So that is a luxury for them, where they don't have to step in and make those millions of decisions that we make on their behalf, which is what makes this a luxury service. You're going to pay someone for peace of mind. I like doing that in my own life every day. I like to pay an expert to fix my car. I don't want to change my own oil. It gives me peace of mind to take it somewhere and pay for another person to take care of that. Interior designers are also problem solvers. They're experienced creators. They're used to making things and being visionaries. It comes very easily and naturally to them. It is a talent that is worth a lot of money, and not everybody can do that. So you are a luxury provider in your creativity. You also have emotional value of luxury, so you're offering comfort and prestige and personal fulfillment in your clients' lives. So that is another layer of service that you're adding on to make yourself a luxury provider. So with all of this, you want to make sure your pricing is reflecting the level of service and expertise, and not just the materials that are going into it, but that your value as a designer is also reflected in that service. You value yourself, you value your time and your energy that you're giving to this project. Designers, like everybody else in life, this hour you can never get back. So the way you're spending this hour, if it's working on a client's house, that is very valuable. So you need to have your pricing reflect that as well. All right, so what are some high value details that can define luxury? We offer white glove experience. So that is like a concierge level experience for clients. One of the things that clients really love is that when we're curating their furniture for the room, we've designed it, we've placed the orders, then everything goes to a receiving warehouse. It's not showing up at their doorstep. They have to drag in boxes, get rid of boxes. Whereas if they went to a retail store that had design services and everything's coming from that retail store, then they will likely show up at different times and they have to schedule delivery dates. Whereas with an interior designer, you just have 1 or 2 days that you're doing the installation and it's all compacted and being respectful of the client's time as well. So we can elevate the client interactions by creating anticipation for the design, making it exclusive to them. So you're not doing cookie cutter designs for every house on the street. You're making it exclusive and bespoke to that client and very personal for what their needs are. Maybe their kids do horseback riding. So you're going to have a place for all those tall boots and for the helmets and the tack and all that stuff for that they need to for their horse. The next kid down the street might have soccer. So they're going to have all of the ball and the nets and the practice things that they need. So each house is different and the designer gets to personalize it for each family's needs. Another detail that can go into a luxury interior design firm is the communication strategies for how we communicate with our clients. This is a high touch service. You want to make sure that you are in constant communication with the client and the trades, but not too much, but just enough to give them ease of mind. So we check in with our clients once a week and tell them what's been going on in the project, ask them any questions. We restrict it to that 1 day a week unless there's something urgent that comes up, or if they think of something and they're like, oh, I forgot while I was falling asleep last night, I remembered blah, blah, blah. So that communication is fine. But some weeks there's not too much going on. And so we'll check in with them every Friday and just say, hey, this is what's going on, or there's not a lot going on, but we're still here. We're still working on your project. Let us know if anything comes up. So that luxury of checking in with them and keeping them abreast of the situation, whatever's going on, gives them peace of mind. They don't have to worry about, oh, I need to make sure I check in with my designer. I haven't heard from her in 3 weeks and I need to know what's going on. So you don't want the client to ever think that. And part of your luxury service is to give great communication to them. Of course, designers do have access to some trade-only resources and vendors and custom furniture and artisans. More and more clients are able to go direct to a lot of these vendors as they're seeking ways to navigate the economy. A lot of companies are going direct to consumer and not as much giving exclusivity to the trade and to designers. And so less and less, I think designers can rely on access to certain product as one of their selling points for their luxury service. More and more, it's going to be how they put it together and giving that concierge level service of the client not having to be very hands-on is what the client needs to be paying for. One of the great things behind designer is that we're exposed to so many ideas and so many new innovations that come out, going to markets and trade shows, and we get to see what's up and coming and what's new and the materials and with technology, and we can introduce those options to our clients and make them aware of things that they probably aren't aware of because they're not steeped in this industry all the time like we are. It's less about the product that we're providing. Of course, we're going to do a high-end quality product, but it's not that only we can have access to it. If the client goes directly to that vendor, they're going to have to deal with ordering, they're going to have to deal with damage, they're going to have to deal with placing it in their home or putting it together if it needs that. A busy high-end client is not going to want to do all of those things. All right, and then it's in the execution of your design that also is where luxury comes in. So having systems and procedures to help the design run seamlessly from start to finish is really peace of mind that your client is paying for. Having that attention to detail, flawless execution helps create that high-end experience and learning how to manage clients' expectations as well. So there is a lot of moving parts, like I've covered before in a design project, and you are here offering a service to help the client not get stressed out. With all of that in review, do you think that you are offering a luxury design service, or do you want to offer a luxury design? Not everybody wants to, and I want to put that out there too, that not everybody wants to be turnkey white glove service for their design clients. A lot of people love to help DIYers, love to help people finding their first apartment, college students, and a lot of clients who don't necessarily have big budgets. But the designer might get so much satisfaction about helping these people have an introduction to what design is and how to, on a shoestring budget, create a great interior. That is very valid as well. And e-design and all that things can go into that type of business model. I would not discourage anyone who is interested in servicing that area from doing it. You just probably have to take on more clients and limit your scope of involvement in order to make the same amount of profits. Don't feel bad if you're not looking to have a luxury business, but in general, interior design is a luxury service. You are going to likely be servicing luxury clients who are used to expecting high-end things. They're traveling in all the 5-star hotels. They've seen and used a lot of these high-end amenities. And so that's what they want to bring home. That's what you're there to provide them. And that's why this is a luxury service. All right, closing thoughts on this is that interior design is and should be treated as a luxury business. I want you to value your time and run your business well so that you can make a great income, and the client will also value your time as well. So charge for what you're providing and think about what it means to have everyday luxuries. I've put together a list of what I would consider everyday luxuries, and I'm going to have that available in the show notes. A little checklist of things that I include in every project. I think this is like some of it's entry level, like things like soft close drawers. Definitely, if you're having a designer specify your cabinets, they're never not going to do soft close drawers. So that's a given, I feel like, but I'm going to put it on the list because not everybody has those. If you buy a house that's been flipped, you probably had base cabinets and not anything with any bells and whistles. And so having soft closed drawers or wooden boxes that have dovetail joinery in them inside the cabinets, that's a luxury as well, but that's a given for a lot of our projects. So just some things to think about on this list and discover what other everyday luxuries that I provide to my clients you might want to as well. So check that in the downloads, and hopefully I've given you some food for thought for luxury design. Okay, so if you're curious about luxury design checklists that I mentioned, you can find that in the show notes. I'll have a link to it. And that is it for this week. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll have another great episode for you next week. And until then, stay creative. Thanks for listening. If you love this episode, please leave a rating and a review. This helps me reach other curious creatives like you. If you have a topic request or would like to contact me, simply head over to my website, rwarddesign.com, or email me at podcast@rwarddesign.com.